Josh, what's up? Try this again. It ain't working good. There we go. Jason, what's up, brother? All right. That'll work for a little bit. JJ, what's up? Jim Dunn, Sea Hill. Damn, they're raining where I'm at. Been fighting with this nonsense all day. Well, not the rain. Oh, about 7,000 pounds in the wagon and 40 to 60 mile an hour winds. Food, what's up? Oh, it was all right. Cutter, what's going on? No, I don't do snow, man. I'm allergic to it. I get around that snow and it starts breaking me out little bumps. I start shaking like crazy. If I go south where it gets warmer, that shit all goes away. So it's got to be an allergy. That's what I'm thinking. I had to strategically park the truck so the rain wasn't coming in on me. 8 people and 1 thumbs up. Wow. Come on, folks. Thank you. Now about 6 more of you's hit it. No, it wasn't raining. I don't think it was raining when you and I talked. No, I was just getting on Turnpike when we talked. It wasn't long after that when I started hitting it. The old wind started picking up. I turned on the Weather Channel. They said, tighten your seatbelt down. Oh, ain't a biggie, Sea Hill. It wouldn't be a live stream if I didn't yell hit the thumbs up at least a dozen times, would it? Y'all was just trying to get me back in practice. Well, thank you, Jason. Dadgum, son. You sure you want to do that? I appreciate it. Oh. Well, I'm sitting up here by the yard. I don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. They got a safety meeting in the morning. I hate them safety meetings. Boy, howdy. That'll be the only Christmas gift I got this year, so thank you. Carlos, what's up? And they got to work on this ELD some more. Carlos is mad at me. He won't answer my phone calls and stuff. So I'm going to just ignore him. Y'all pick on him and I won't even let him do it. I won't say a word. Y'all just go ahead and get him. Right, JJ, I understand. Oh, Josh, I've got so many. It's ridiculous. I've got 4 years just with this company without even a scratch. I could teach their safety classes. I'd probably teach them better than they do. I've made, I don't know, 2 or 3 safety meetings with this company, and usually what they turn out to be is a bitch session where it gives them the opportunity to bitch at us. Which I done told Grandma they might not like me tomorrow if that's what it turns out to be. I've been a little bit grumpy last few weeks. I've been trying my best to hide it. But a mandatory meeting that doesn't pay nothing, and you're going to bitch at me, you might not like my attitude. I know y'all find it hard to believe, but I can get an attitude once in a while. Joshua, what's up, buddy? Oh. Yeah, I had to pry myself out of that recliner this morning. I didn't want to go, I ain't gonna lie. Well, that's a good deal, Josh. Now that you think you perfected it, guess what? Well, good deal. Congratulations. Oh, Jason. Be nice. What up, Paul? Did y'all see that KFC now has a fire log they're selling? Like $20. It makes your house smell like the original recipe. Which sounds goofy, right? They sold out of them. I guess that was a good way to mask the smell of burnt turkey. Oh, oops, did I go there? Yeah, I hear you there, Joshua. The Java coffee log, and you can say Merry Christmas and stuff on my channel. I know it's about Jesus Christ. That's where I'm at, JJ. I have never had my fireplace checked since I bought the house. And I don't want to bust off with. It looks to me like somebody's had too hot a fire in there. It's got a metal lining that looks to be a bit warped and whatnot. So it makes me wonder if they had too hot a fire in there. And there's some black on the outside of it, like they didn't know what they was doing. Well, I ain't down there. I'm up here in Oklahoma. I'm up here by the yard. Uh-huh. I like KFC. I don't get it much anymore. That being said, when me and Grandma took that trip to Missouri for my mama's funeral, we did happen to stop by one, and it was one of the nastiest KFCs I'd ever seen in my life. Normally, they're not like that. But yeah, I wasn't happy at all there. I understand, Jason, Yankee. No, Paul, I didn't. I did a little bit of cooking. I didn't really record anything. I did that one video where I was talking to the comments about some of the comments, and I happened to be cooking while I was doing that, but it really wasn't one of my cooking videos. When I got home Friday, me and Grandma went shopping. I'm sorry, it was Saturday when we went shopping. Friday when I got home, I was shot out. I got a big old ham, bone-in ham, 50 cents a pound, so I bought that. Bought us a turkey, and me and Grandma done decided we wasn't going nowhere, but we was going to fix us a real light Christmas dinner. I sliced that ham up, and me and Grandma had some grilled ham and cheese sandwiches. We both like to take big old thick slice of ham and throw it in a skillet and get it good and warm and make a sandwich out of it. Well, we had those a couple different times. Sliced it all up, and I had them bones there and the remnants from the ham. Well, now there's only one thing you can do with that. Well, I grabbed some pinto beans and put on some ham and beans. Actually, I got a bowl of that back there in the icebox. We had ham and beans and cornbread. Oh. So yeah, we didn't do a whole lot of cooking. I haven't even checked on a price. I just ain't been around. Riding around on your pony, huh? Yeah, Popeyes don't do a whole lot for me. No, it's just a matter of preference there, JJ. And to me, I grew up with KFC because they started about the time I was born. So, and they didn't have any competition for years. So, you know, it's kind of like your mama's cornbread versus your wife's cornbread. Mama always wins. No, same thing. KFC has set the standard years ago for me. Now, there's a few of them that do some pretty good livers. I like my chicken livers. Exactly, Paul. That's what I'm saying. It was a treat. Kind of like the old A&Ws. You're old enough then that you remember going to A&W and getting them little bitty mugs. Used to love getting them things. Get you a root beer float. So yeah, me and Grandma just chilled for the most part. I really don't do the Hawaiian bread or any of the other breads. We do a sugar-free bread nowadays. Grandma and the doctors got me on a sugar-free diet, trying to keep me off of them needles and pills and all that nonsense. Oh, I don't cook chicken livers. We've got a little chicken, what is it? I think it's called Chicken Express down there by us. And they do pretty good. They cook them to order. They're not one of these that cook them and have them sitting out there. So you automatically know if you go in to order chicken livers, you're going to have to wait on them to cook. Which we're fine with that. Yeah, exactly, Jason. Now, me and Grandma, we got some big old mugs that we keep in our freezer all the time. So, And I love to grab one of them, pour me a big old glass of milk. Grandma's been figuring out some sugar-free desserts she can make me. I didn't know there was any such thing as sugar-free bread. There is. Uh, they've got sugar-free cakes in there too. Not a wide selection of them, but they got some. Now she's starting to look online for sugar-free recipes. I need a sugar-free banana nut bread recipe. I've been calling that one in there, JJ. No, I'm not. Yeah, turn your defrosters on. Turn your AC on, which should automatically turn your AC on, but turn on full defrosters and start setting your temperature to what it is outside. It's not, Carlos. It's okay. It's okay. We eat a lot of them, but it's your typical mass-produced food. See, now, JJ's caretaker, Dee, was supposed to be making me some recipes and putting them online. She was supposed to be doing us some videos of real Cajun food. Now, I don't know what happened. There you go, Jason. Well, it's okay, Carlos. But actually you can buy some different Cajun seasonings and make your own up. That's what me and Grandma normally do. And nowadays they've got little starter kits for them, which is basically just your seasonings. Anyway, we have them in Texas. No, I ride with mine cracked because I smoke so much. And I leave it cracked unless the rain starts coming in. I hate rain hitting me in the face driving down the road. If I'm going to do that, I'd rather be on the Harley. And Grandma made me sell the Harley. There you go, JJ. And that would be appreciated. Now, Little Joe's still supposed to be working on our uplink. So if you get a video, we ain't got the uplink fixed, just stash it. I need to, he's off next couple of days. If he comes on tonight, y'all start hounding him about fixing that upload, that uplink. I know Stone has one video that's he's got just waiting to upload, and he has been for a couple months now. But Little Joe Orby getting caught up on all his stuff. He's done with his masters. He now has his masters. I am proud of that boy for that shit, and he did that on his own. and debating on going for his PhD, but he said, right now I got to have time off from this school. And I don't blame him. Oh, yeah, it's supposed to rain all night. Get what money, Carlos? Is there anybody besides me tired of hearing about the damn government shutdown? They shut down during the holidays. They've been shut down for 5 days. 2 of them was a weekend, and 3 of them was holidays. Which I ain't never figured out why government employees get paid for the day after Christmas anyway. Hell, I was working the day before and the day after Christmas. And if they do a government shutdown, how come all them idiots that won't get their act together to keep it running, why do they keep getting paid? You'd think they would be the first one to get their pay cut. What up, Kale? You out working or you taking a couple extra days off? J702, howdy, and that's not a very good way to enter a room. Need to enter a room saying howdy and not with that trash talk. Well, exactly, Carlos, yeah. If that's what you're talking about, you're right. He's starting to do some serious job searching. Yeah, you can, Jason, but sorry, buddy, you're not a government employee, because when it fires back up, them people that's been off, what few actually got laid off, they get their full pay. So they're on an unpaid leave right now. However, when the government fires back up, they get back pay. Now, what did that do for you and I? And what average working American out here is really affected by their shutdown? Really? It ain't nothing but a damn scare technique that they try. No, Kale, you're not working. You're out trashing around. Oh, I totally agree, Carlos. Totally agree. Thank you, Jason. Exactly. That is what I said. They said they cut non-essential jobs. If they're non-essential, why the hell do we have them? You know, really. If we can operate without them, why are we paying them anyway? Oh, they're the researchers and stuff for these senates. And whose niece or nephew did you hire that gave you a whole lot of money for your campaign? Yep, that's a fact, Josh. Oh, yeah. We need to clean house, and we need to start at the local level. That little town I lived in Georgia. Oh my Lord, the politics they had going on, it was ridiculous. Well, Jay, we all support the government whether we want to or not. The government makes no money. They have no means of income other than stealing it from us peasants. Carlos, keep an eye there. Or one of you blue guys. Yeah, right? They all need to go. Watching them question tech companies about how the internet works is embarrassing, ain't it though? Well, see, now that's something else. Hillary's old classmate's company in Canada got the contract to set up Obamacare, and they couldn't even make it right. You know? All right, Carlos, it ain't letting me do my deal. You do your deal. Yeah, that news feed that I sent you, Carlos. Oh, there was some mad people out there. Stand in line for hours all day to get an ID that ain't no good. Boy. Oh, the EPA is a joke, Jason. You're right. Thank you, Carlos. Now, for you other blue ranches, you gotta listen to what I'm saying once in a while when we get somebody like him. That's why I have y'all. I can't do that stuff on here, so that's why I made y'all blue hammers. Yeah, I know you do, Carlos. Even when you won't answer my phone calls. Now, JJ, do we need to, and C Hill and whoever else is on here with the blue wrenches, y'all need to get with Carlos, send him a message and ask him how all that works if you don't know how it works. But we just can't get crazy kicking people out. I want people to be able to speak their mind and stuff, but when they start acting like a troll and trying to be contradictory to everything, it's time to go. Red Runner, what's going on, brother? Ain't seen you in a minute. You've been hiding out up in the hills, ain't you? I've been being a grumpy old fart, trying not to let it show too much. Some days are better than others. Some days I don't hide it worth a darn. Yeah, Carlos is pretty quick on that. He has a low tolerance for nonsense like I do. That's why he'll make a good vice president when y'all vote me in. Oh, it's okay. It was just me and Grandma. We're getting used to old people Christmases. You know, kids are all grown and gone, got their own lives, and you know they want to wake up to their babies at the house opening presents and stuff. And me and Grandma wake up and have a cup of coffee or energy drink and sit around. But we made the best of it. It was actually our first year of not going to one of the kids' house or having the kid home or any of that stuff. So it was a little bit hard on us. It was a little bit hard on Grandma. You know how grandmas are. She's wanting to see them grandbabies. I never heard of Pioneer chicken. All right, Cal. Be careful, brother. Love you. Yeah, I ate a Church's chicken. I'm backing up. I'm scrolling backwards through these. Yeah, Church's ain't too bad. We actually have a Church's in the town we live in there in Texas. But it's a pain in the butt to get to. It's a downtown type deal. Damnedest place to put it, and they got some weird hours too. Well, see, the Chesters, we have that out here all over the place, and all these Loves. A few of the pilots, but Chester's is taking over the Loves, and most of us are getting tired of them. I hear you, runner. All right, Cal, tell Jesse howdy for us. I figured y'all would rather watch it rain and cars drive by than look at my pretty mug and get all jealous. I hear sirens. That's a fire truck. I hear the big whistle. Yeah, you did, Jason. I can be bribed. But what's it pay to be your alibi? Well, ours ain't. Ours is in the downtown for what downtown we have. Yeah, you got witnesses that you did it, JJ. Yeah, I wound up stopping and grabbing me a little 1 hour nap today. Oh, about an hour and a half after me and JJ talked. Just talking to him wore me out, so later on I had to lay down and take a nap. All right, Runner. Appreciate you stopping in, brother. You be safe out there, man. Catch us every time you can. Yeah. Using them old words, ain't he? Well, I'm figuring you're the one that made it rain, JJ. It wasn't raining until not long after we hung up. Some weird looking lights over there. Huh. Don't mind me, I'm looking at some lights that can't tell what they are. Part of them's getting brighter. Looks like it's some, damn it, I can't think what they're called. Transformers. But they shouldn't have 3 of them on one pole. And they shouldn't all 3 be lit up like that. Shouldn't none of them be lit up. Where you at, Paul? Getting all that rain. Huh. That'd be interesting, Carlos. Them Hellcats are, not only are they pricey, they're pretty badass. You'd been a better friend if you'd kept that rain. Yeah. Well, them Hellcats going for around 50 grand. I like watching Jay Leno's Garage. And him and, I forget who that dude was. They went out driving one. Yeah, you're down there around between Little Rock and Memphis, right? Well, we know who's making the big bucks. Mama, if she can afford something like that. Uh, Zach, what's going on? Oh, it was Christmas, brother. Well, that ain't bad, Carlos. See, then you could donate her old car to Grandma. Well, I'm here in Oklahoma, right there by Oklahoma-Arkansas line. Actually, the Arkansas line's less than a half mile over yonder. Rain all night, and they said winds up to 40 to 60 miles an hour. I was glad to get that lightweight trailer off my back. Running across the turnpike 55, 60 miles an hour. And then I was letting out of it anytime I'd go under an overpass, because I knew what was going to happen when I came to the other side of that overpass. I mean, it was pushing me around pretty hard. I fought with it a couple hours, then I took me a nap, and then I had about 2 more hours to make it up here. First half of that trip was real good with that light trailer. Where are you at, Zach? South of Lufkin, Texas. You go too far south, you'll be down by my house. Oh, no, I ain't in Houston. I'm north of Houston and south of Lufkin. Imagine that, Paul. There's a lot of that going on with them sports cars. They buy them and think they can handle them, and they get away from them. Yeah, see, Grandma Rose would like that, Carlos. Or maybe Papa Joe would. I'd say, baby, let me borrow your car. I'm going to make a quick trip to the store and back. Emphasis on quick. Actually, the Texas Black and Whites worked that stretch between my house and town pretty damn seriously. Oh yeah, I'd take a nap. I learned years ago it's better take a nap than wreck. When I had my own truck there in Georgia, I was running that rail freight. Had a place out there by me I'd deliver to, about 20 miles past my house. And went in there late one morning, about an hour late, because I stopped and got an hour nap. Oh, that woman, she was mean, mad, and she was going to call my dispatcher, and I said, I got him on speed dial, but I already know what he's going to tell you. What's that? I said, it's better an hour late than it on the side of the road. If he needed a nap, he needed a nap. Yeah. I don't think she ever did call him, though. Yeah, it's coming down pretty good here. The wind finally settled down. They said it's supposed to get worse by morning. Well, exactly, Josh. Appointment times are just for the receivers, the shippers and receivers. Very rarely do you get into one and get in on your appointment time. I was lucky today. I was an hour and a half early, and they put me right in the dock, got me loaded, and I was pulling out by my appointment time. Well, technically, I was told to be there, pick it up by noon. Then when I get in there, they're got signs everywhere, by appointment only. I never even said anything about no appointment. To my knowledge, I didn't have one. Wacko Waco. Well, rain a little bit harder and the wind's picking back up. I guess I spoke too soon. And there's the local policeman back. No, I don't do Rain-X anymore. I used to. Used to do the Rain-X when it came out, then I did the Rain-X washer fluid when it came out. Nah, I don't anymore. Hey, I tried telling y'all, Carlos got all kinds of cousins. If you need something, just ask. He'll have a cousin in that line of work. Oh, nothing. I'm bobtailing. I done dropped my trailer at the yard over there across the road. You're right, Jason, Mopar. Although right now I have a Chevy. Actually, two of them. But that's a long story. Well, most of my cars have been Mopar. Cars and trucks. I've had two Fords. One of them was like a 76 Ford. Had a 400 out of a Lincoln in it. Oh man, that thing didn't know what woe was. Of course, I got 9 miles to the gallon loaded or emptied, whether I was going light on it or on the floor. She turned 400? Dadgum, Josh. I ain't gonna ask how old you are. Look at that rain blowing across this parking lot, folks. And that ain't because of the slant of the driveway. That's because of that wind. It's going to rock me to sleep tonight. As long as I don't wake up on my head, I'm good. Them Camrys are pretty popular. Wish this rain would let up. I'd like to run inside for a minute. Oh, I don't know. It's in the 50s here. Yeah, that old wind's starting to rock me pretty good now. Well, hopefully it quits by morning. Yeah, it ain't bad. Might as well get used to it. I've been in it forever. Yeah, the company's got an account with Streak and Beacon. And they're forever telling me I need a truck wash, but the routes I run, there ain't a Streak and Beacon. Most of the time when I hit the yard, if our truck wash guy is even here, they've got me under such a schedule. I ain't got time to let him take 20, 30 minutes to wash it. Every once in a while, the owner forces me to. But the passenger side ought to be clean. Maybe I'll turn it around and get the driver's side washed while I'm sleeping. Wow. Man, that just blowing across there. Took a nap the other day and got up and Grandma was watching Forrest Gump. Well, I sat down and watched it with her. Yeah, to my knowledge is, Carlos. That's cool. Oh, I'm not cold. I'm sitting here. Truck ain't running. The bunk heater ain't on. I'm sitting there just chilling. I just wish you'd let up so I could go inside the truck stop for a few minutes. Take care of some business. What up, Venom? What are you talking about, Josh? Did you lose brain cells? What up, TC? Merry Christmas to you too, brother. Brian, howdy. Oh, I'm up here by the yard. Dylan, howdy. You know all about that. You live up there in that rainforest. See, a lot of Americans don't realize that we do have an American rainforest, and it is in the Northwest. Oh, Forrest Gump's a good movie, dude. Well, Merry Christmas, Dylan. I don't do that happy holiday stuff. You're welcome to, but I don't. Well, I'm sorry if you hadn't sat around with your old man. Hey, look at the bright side. You got all of us to keep you company now. What up, D-Knox? You see I'm getting rail 2, a reg 2. I ain't sure what you're getting at there, D. Then we've got a C, and now we've got a D. We're doing good. We'll have all the alphabet covered for long. Well, cool. Thank you, Brian. Yeah, it's raining pretty good here. It ain't been all bad, Dylan. A little windy today. Kentucky's pretty point blank. I love rolling through them hills out there. I'm up here by our yard. Oh, it's been dying off for quite a while. It actually started dying off back before the cell phones came out. They're in the 90s and whatnot. Oh, it got ridiculous on the language and the racism and the fighting and the BS, and there was a lot of us that just quit. Then they started coming out with the bag phones and cell phones, and I can tell you my company had some pretty serious roaming charges. Back in the beginning, you had roaming charges. Oh boy, Joe poor out of the Chicago area. He thought I was using his phone to call mama and stuff, which I was not. He had a ridiculous phone bill. He got looking at it. He seen all the calls was just me and him. He was like, man, do I call you that often? I said, yes, you do. I'm going to have to quit that. Oh, well, that's up to you. But he'd get bored and he'd call me. We'd just talk nonsense forever. Boy, it cost him too. Uh-huh. Well, I'm up here by the yard. West Salem Springs, Oklahoma. Oh, I carry one. I don't really use it. Although nowadays you can turn it on and you don't hardly hear anybody. Talking to an old trucker friend of mine. Oh, it was a few years back, 6, 7 years ago, was talking. And he told me, he says, man, he says, I fell asleep with my CB on. Which used to be a big no-no because that thing was constantly going. He says, slept all night and nobody said a word. Didn't miss you at all, JJ. Oh, I ain't sure what the oil temperature is. I can look at the gauge and know if it's normal or not, but give you an actual number, I can't. Oh boy, night transportation. So you've been having trouble getting someone to take you, right, Zach? So you're at a point, whoever would take you, you're going? I did that exact same thing, Paul, when I was hauling Ford freight. I'd run until about 5 in the morning. Then I'd shut down and go to bed for a few hours. That old boy'd call me every morning, 6:30. I gave him warning. I said, every morning about this time I'll be asleep. You don't need to call. I'll call you when I get up. He'd call again, and I told him, you call me one more time, I said, I'm going to start calling you in the middle of the night. That's what I did. I called him about 2 o'clock in the morning. And he answered. I'm like, what are you doing, man? I'm sleeping, Joe. What do you need? Oh, I'm just going to tell you that about 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, I'll be asleep. I did that to him 2 nights running. We made an agreement. We wouldn't call each other during our sleep time. Oh, it wasn't all bad, Brad. John, what's going on, brother? Same old trucking nonsense here. I hear you, Zach. Mitch, Merry Christmas, brother. Good stuff, Dylan. Good stuff. Well, if you was smelling and burning, it's a matter, is it oil or transmission? Oh, that was a pork quesadilla. What the hell? Now I can't say it. But yeah, it turned out good. I got some in the back. Now I can't even think of the name of what you call it. There you go, Dylan. Thank you very much. Ah, the holiday pay. Must be nice. You must be doing a local run there, Brad. Well, Zach, sometimes I get an idea in my head of something I want to try, and it don't have a name to it. That used to drive the kids crazy. I'd cook dinner. What do you call it? What is it? It's supper. Well, what do you call it? Food. Was it got a name? Yeah. Dinner. Are you hungry? Shut up and sit down and eat. Well, I want to know what it's called. Well, then you name it. I don't give a damn. Now that they're older and they got kids, they're understanding. All right, Carlos, take it easy. Love you, brother. Give me a call. Oh, me and Grandma did our first old people's Christmas with just me and her. Well, that's what it is. It's food. Yep. There it comes in again. It slacked up for a minute. Now it's coming down some more. Yeah, we didn't ask what food was when we was growing up. We were just glad we had something. Was at somebody's house a little while back. They had 3 kids, and they was getting ready to do dinner as we was leaving. And I'll be damned if the mother didn't ask each child what they wanted for dinner, and the husband too, and she wound up cooking 4 dinners. Now most of them was microwaved, but I was like, are you kidding me? That was crazy. I said, ain't no way in my household. Well, Carlos, surely you got a cousin that's a hairstylist. Oh yeah, Zach, that's what yeah, we had a big garden. And we had to have enough vegetables picked by the time Mama got home from work so she could do some cannons. The easiest way I ever seen to do a cow over at my uncle's house, and back in them days, everybody would go to someone else's house to help them do any kind of butchering they was doing. But he took a little air pump, and he had a needle for a basketball, and he barely inserted it under that cow's hide. And he aired that damn cow up, and it ballooned up like a basketball. And we skinned that rascal out. As long as you didn't punch the fat cells there, it stayed aired up. Craziest thing I'd ever seen. Well, Josh, I'd have to see a picture of it to know if it's a deal or not. Now, understand that it could be a recap, and a lot of times them recaps, they do separate a little bit on them outside edges. But if it's just cupping out, cupping is normal. It's not necessarily a good thing, but it is normal. And there's a big debate on why they cup. Yeah, exactly. Pull it out of the package. Hell, they don't even want to unload it out of the car. Exactly, see, Hill. That's the two choices we got. Well, actually, we didn't get that. It was sit down and eat. Oh, you're trucking. You got a scale house up just north of you. They should be closed this time of night, but it is Texas. You drove right by my house. And you shouldn't be texting and driving, young man. Boy, I know about snapping peas. Well, see, and not only did we pick the garden, if you was hungry during the day, you went out to the garden, got you a tomato or cucumber or ear of corn or whatever. There wasn't no such thing of being hungry. And we all had pocket knives, so it wasn't a big deal. You clean a cucumber and leave the cleanings right there in the garden. I ain't never seen no gators cleaned or skinned. Well, after Harvey, I had the hogs that came in on my property. Had some kids come up with a trap. There's some videos of it. But they never did catch any. That was a bummer. I was looking forward to some sausage. I really haven't heard anything about them, Dee, which is a good thing. But if you decide to make that move, let me know how they are. Well, a little bit I've heard has been their propaganda, so you know they'll lie. Oh, I hate okra to this day, Paul. We had it, Dad loved it. We had to pick it, and yes, it would break me out something terrible. And if it ain't cooked just right, it's slimy as all get out. Oh, I can't stand okra. Every blue moon, if Grandma gets some with her meal, or with a meal from one of the chicken joints that has the fried okra, and I'll eat a couple pieces of that. It ain't as bad. But if I see okra in a stew or a gumbo or any of that, no thank you. I can't stand it. Well, the wind changed directions. Well, I'd hate to be that guy delivering gas over there in that Love's truck. I got lucky. It almost quit raining while I dropped my trailer. Oh, they do, D. Oh, yeah. Couldn't afford no old timer or any of that. So, yeah, it was a Barlow. $3 million safe miles on that Walmart truck. Oh, there's one of these plastic Peterbilts. No, I like head cheese, but I don't like South's. And there is a difference in the two. South's has got more vinegar in it. But now I love me some hot head cheese. Michael picked me some up in Missouri. I got me 2 packs, each of them about a pound and a half. I ate one week and the other one the next week. Yep, love me some head cheese. Well, I like the hot head cheese. Where are you going to in Oklahoma, Josh? Probably Tulsa. If you're coming up 59 and 259 to 271 and all that, over to 69. Well, no, if you're going to Tulsa, you'll stay on the turnpike. Well, how old are you, Mitch? That's the biggest question. "39 South," huh? The thing is, Mitch, is you need to be in decent shape. And you can't be afraid of work. Well, happy birthday. You ought to be alright at 38 if you're in decent shape. Depends on who you go to work for. A lot of them don't want to pay you any extra for the extra work. It ain't like you got to open the doors. And there's a lot of them flatbedders and stuff out there. They get hollering about how us dry boxes and reefers, oh, you just want to open the door. You're scared to work. No, I do enough free work out here. I don't want to do more free work. Some of them offer you a whole $10 to tarp a load. They might offer you 15 to tarp it and untarp it. And it can take you a while to tarp it, not to mention all the physical fighting with the wind and the elements. Oh, I know that getting tired of your run. I'm getting tired of mine. I stay pretty regional over here, and it's getting old. I told Grandma she's going to have to climb in here, and we're going to have to go cross country for a few trips. Give me a break. But I ain't going to do it during the winter time, because I know if I do, they're going to send my butt to the northwest. Well, I hope you are, Zach. Well, Mitch, get your passport. Run down to the States. If you can get with a company that's running you down to El Paso or Laredo or one of the major border crossings into Mexico, that could get sweet. Down there and back up. Be some extreme changes for you in the wintertime. Get that up there where it's minus 50 damn degrees, and yes, it gets that cold. Then you run down there to Laredo where it's 70 degrees. You won't know how to act. Yeah, I've seen some nice restorations, and every blue moon I talk about them. But now I really don't want back in a cab over. That's what I started in, with a cab over Freightliner. Yeah, we had a couple that came in. Y'all don't have to run ELDs up there, Mitch? See, now that was something I argued with a lot of drivers. I ran up back and forth out of Canada for 3 or 4 years. And when I went up there, I continued to run American logbook hours. And so many of them, including our company log lady, oh, you have to switch over to Canada hours. I said, no, I don't. Y'all are allowed to run longer hours than we are anyway. So if I stayed on my American, I was legal up there. But if you do change over, then when you cross the border, you got to note it in your logs and all that. Oh, no. I just run my hours and go with it. I usually hauled boats in and then I deadhead it out. Well, Mitch, you need to do a little homework, buddy. If you're a Canadian out of Canada with a Canadian base and all that, you might be exempt from having to run ELDs down here. I would check it out and find out. Yeah, seeing we're 11 and 3. 11 hours driving out of a 14. And whatever you got to do on that extra 3 is up to you. Plus, we have a 30-minute break in there, too. Within your first 8 hours of driving, you got to take a 30-minute break, which you'd have to comply with our logbook rules, our hours of service rules. But if you ain't got to run that ELD, I can't see how they could have you all running them if your country doesn't mandate it. I could be wrong, I don't know. But where you got to be careful is that's like bison. I'm used to bison being out of Canada. Well, they evidently have hooked up with somebody down here, because if you read on their trucks now, they have a couple of different offices here in the States. So if that's the case, they might make you run ELDs. So do your homework. Well, I know you have changed your hours of service to U.S., but what about the ELDs? Wow, that would suck. What's that, Zach? The hours and stuff? Actually, if you will, if you go into my archives, go into the playlist, you'll see where I got some videos up explaining hours of service and ELDs and all that stuff. So you can go watch it. Watch them a couple times if you have to. That way when you go to class, and I don't know if they'll teach you, and it depends upon what school you go to. So it'd give you a jump start on it. Yeah, I understand. But you ain't in the service no more. Yeah, there probably is. I'd have to think about it to give you an honest answer, but the best companies I worked for, they closed down. It ain't like I just quit them. They closed down. That's the biggest bummer. Brian, Merry Christmas, brother. Did you read up on that pre-inspection, pre-trip inspection? They might do a little bit different than you was used to doing it. I hear you trying. Yeah. Well, the thing about them practice tests is they're usually multiple choice. They give you 4 choices. One of them is usually totally ridiculous. Then another one is tricky, we'll say. Then you got the right one, and then you got one that's just plumb stupid. So if you read them, and the best way to take any test is you study, of course, keep reading through your stuff, but when you go doing the actual test, read your question, then read your answers, and usually the first one that, well, rain started coming in that window. Go ahead and hit these wipers. But you read them answers, and usually the first one that jumps up telling you that it's me is usually it. So you mark it and go on. When you mess up is when you get done early and you go back and start trying to change them, because you start second guessing yourself. Now if one pops up and none of them sound right, leave that one blank and move on to the next one. Don't sit there 5 minutes trying to figure it out. Move on to the next one. When you get done, then go back to it. So, if it'll work that way with these computers, matter of fact, because I'm sure they're all computerized nowadays. No, I won't be home New Year's. I ain't worried about New Year's. I've seen many of them come in. Hopefully I'll see a few more. Well, yeah, strapping them down the doozy. And some of them can get to be pretty challenging. You know, I was watching Trucker Jim. I don't watch too many other truckers' YouTubes. He had one where he was at Maverick. Now, he didn't show a whole lot. However, they had 2 or 3 days that they had them students in there strapping and unstrapping different kind of loads, which I thought was pretty impressive. When I started flatbedding, it was, here's your truck, good luck. And I had to count on asking other people wherever I'd go loading or watching how they was doing theirs. That's how I learned. Well, don't wake her up and tell her to shut up. Oh, I go home every weekend. Every blue moon I get stuck out here. But I'm fixing to go to bed, folks. It's going on 11 o'clock here. I appreciate everybody coming and joining and hanging out for a while. It was a good live stream tonight. Oh. Zach, you're going to get in trouble. Good night, brother. Hey, y'all remember, the good Lord loves you, and so do I. Y'all be safe out there. If you're in this rainy nonsense, slow down, chill out a little bit. Y'all have a blessed evening now. Good night.